and slowly pulled out a crucifix and gently placed it on his mother's chest. Then the staff closed the lid of the coffin. At that moment, Mike happened to glance up and noticed the air vent in the corner of the room. Then he looked toward the surveillance camera on the opposite side, and a perfect plan instantly formed in his mind. Mike quickly exited the room and followed the ventilation duct outside. Once he found the exterior vent, he started prying it open. Then he popped the trunk of his car and tightly wrapped the corpse. He secured it with multiple layers of rope and tied the other end to his daughter's remote control toy. Next, Mike tossed the toy deep into the ventilation duct. He then stuffed the corpse into the duct behind it. Once everything was ready, Mike returned to the morgue, holding a bunch of balloons to get the room to himself. He bribed one of the staff members when the staffer stepped out. Mike released his grip on the balloons, letting them block the overhead camera. Then he quickly locked the door from inside. He moved a storage cabinet directly under the vent, climbing on top. He unscrewed the grate and pulled it open with force. He then used the remote control to activate the toy inside the duct. After some fiddling, the little plastic soldier rolled swiftly toward him. Mike jumped down from the cabinet and quickly untied his shoelace using it. He began pulling the nails out of the coffin one by one, but just as he got to the final nail, the shoelace snapped with time. Running out, Mike had no choice but to yank the nail out by hand. Luckily, the last nail was loose and the lid popped open. At the same time the toy had reached its target location, Mike grabbed the crucifix and used it to hook the toy soldier, pulling on the string as hard as he could. Soon the hidden corpse he had stashed earlier was pulled out smoothly. He carefully placed it inside his mother's coffin and quickly sealed the lid again. But just then, he heard hurried footsteps approaching from the hallway. Mike took off his leather shoe and used the heel to hammer the nails back in one by one. Everything seemed to be going smoothly once everything looked just like before. Mike took a deep breath, trying to stay calm, but just before he could relax, a phone started ringing from inside the coffin. Mike leaned down, pressing his ear against the wood. Listening carefully, he began to panic slightly if the staff noticed he could face serious legal consequences, but it was already too late to retrieve the phone. Just as the staff entered the room, the ringtone miraculously stopped. The staff looked at Mike, still grieving beside the coffin, and didn't suspect a thing. But as Mike was about to leave the room, the staff suddenly called out to him,